connection.
Yeah. It becomes when a person understands it that he himself holds so. Not just, of course, they can have meichen in meichen gufa. There's levels. The chetzenis hameichen, primus hameichen. I'm understanding something other than me. And that means I don't really get the thing itself. I understand about it. I know how it works. But what is the thing itself? I don't know. Then as I get the thing itself, that's the primus hameichen.
So the two shitas are mamish diametrically opposed to each other.
What meichen and midas?
Or Chabad and Chagas. They're mamish two opposites. It doesn't go together at all.
The kavon is that the midas should be working the way meichen. It should become so part of me that my emotion should also be dveikud, bilti murgeshes. Not, but it's a high level. But
how could Chagat be bilti murgesh?
How? Oh, because
it's the exact opposite of Chagas.
Which means if you feel something and you get excited.
If you don't feel it, then it's not a midah.
You lost it because then
the whole yesh is a mitzad. You need this. The whole mitzvah is a mitzad.
So like, how do you? I mean, so then there's no such thing as getting excited over like a steak or something, or like a sushi, or whatever.
Forget the sushi. You get excited because it's not you.
I hope it's not me.
When you don't
Can you imagine you were in that sushi roll? Stel sich vor.
The shaila is there's two things. Lepeil, the kavon is you have to have a spilas murgeshes. Because nefesh habaymis is not the Eibishter. And what speaks to him is dafke spilas murgeshes. Because he's not a lakus, he's yeshes and he's looking his own benefit. So the only way he can relate to Eibishter is as an outsider. But the nefesh halakis could experience it, and that's what we're going to have. But the neshama didn't come down here to have that experience of not feeling itself. That's already in the neshama. That's Aved of Shabbos, special times, or Shalom Kippur, a person loses himself totally. Day-to-day life that is murgishdik is, das tachtendik is, it should also feel, but it's a lower level of but that's what we came here for.
Chagas for guys are right.
Chagas, the Chabad is not just meichen, not have midas. It's a whole other mistake. At Chabad mit of meichen, then you couldn't care less. It's not to say. If you have meichen, it has to be mailed midas. Every meich has to every the word should be based on a meich. It shouldn't just be a natural ave without his bonus. It's all stages. It becomes my thing. I understand it. My seichel also is mechayiv this emes. Let it be on a lower level, but it's still the nefesh, the person himself. It's aved b'kechatzmei. Okay. But this just to bring out back the point that in meichen there is this part of less being outside of it, and therefore there's less the feeling itself. That's the idea. The same thing inside is that it's amol. This idea that it's even mushashayim.
So that's the example you used to explain why the or of a kav. Well, the kav is davuk. Back to that.
Right, that in a way, the fact that it comes in such a, even though it's a mazel, it's a sight, it's only a minute way of life, but really in it is expressed the ultimate way of life. In a way even higher than the Ishul Ifnetzim.
Because there's,
okay. The answer to your question, Lepel, after the Tzimtzum, it's a much lower level of light. How could it have this specialty? How could it have? I don't know why I brought this whole thing in, anyways, because really he doesn't speak about it over here. He just focuses on the fact that it's also getting chayes from the meich. So it's also megal the emes of the Eibishter. It's going back to the idea, the point in this mimer. Let's take Yichudi Eloah and Yichudi Tatah. What's Yichudi Eloah? Nothing has any significance like the Eibishter. Only because this is what the Eibishter wanted. That's why it's here. Yichudi Eloah. Klo Chashiv. What's Yichudi Tatah? There is a world. The Eibishter is creating the world. Everything is dependent on the Eibishter. I'm not saying there's no world. The world that exists is only here because the Eibishter is making it. Basically. Let's ask. Is Yichudi Tatah another thing besides Yichudi Eloah? Or is Yichudi Tatah an extension of Yichudi Eloah? How should we look at it? Go look at it two ways. On one hand, you could say they're two different things. Here, you realize the emes of the Eibishter, that everything besides the Eibishter is insignificant. And it's only significant because the Eibishter made it to be. The Eibishter gave it significance, but there's nothing to it, only because the Eibishter wanted. I start seeing a world for what it is. And I explain that this is coming and being made by the Eibusher constantly creating it. So l'chore, it's two different yichudim. But if we look at on a deeper level, we could say, no, yichud tzatoah is yichud ilah coming and reaching even where the world feels itself as a separate entity, even where he sees itself separate. Also here the Eibusher is mir. In other words, Havaya Chod should come and reach even the Yeshes, even the Metzius. That also should realize why I'm here, because the Eibusher made me. That's really bringing down the Yichud Ilah, a lower level. It's not another seichel, it's not another idea. It's Yichud Ilah coming down. That's what we're saying, that even though the Golui, the Kav is relating to Elos, is Mevatel Elamis, but at the end of the day, it's bringing down the Emes of Elokus. Also the way Elos see themselves. Also that is true. There is a chiluk of Yochid and Echad. Yochid, we say the Eibusher is one, nothing but him. Echad, there is a world, and the world itself is dependent on the Eibusher. You see the Eibusher in the world. So what? It's a new way of looking at the Eibusher. No, it's saying the emes of Lukus is so emes. Matzmi kol tzad. Even if you have a world which is existent and feels of a separate entity, that too is connected with the Eibusher, because that too can exist on its own. Needs the Eibusher constantly to make it. The Yesh itself is also connected. The Yichud Tatoah is bringing the emes of the Eibusher even to Tatoah, even to Yesh. It's not a new thing. That's what we're saying. Even though it went through a tzimtzum, but who's coming? The Achtzavai is coming. Because the emes, just the Rav, Seichel, the Rogachover, whatever the Moshel is, the Rebbe, he's Seichel, so emes, he could be Masber, he could bring it to any level, even to us. Why? Because there's nowhere it can't reach this emes, nowhere it can't go. So it's not something new coming to the Talmud. This reality, even coming to Mokam HaCheshech, even coming to Mokam HaYesh. But it's not that it's not the yin of Bittul, the emes of Bittul, therefore it's considered. That's what we say, the Kav. Even though it's going through a hefsek, but it's still connected and it's dovuk to Mikei because the mocker is being revealed itself. So he's like, the ikri mazel, it's called a mazel, like it's native, it's coming down a little bit dripping. It's dovuk to Ein Sof, sham shechosu b'chinas gilui. Because he's revealing the Eibusher, even though that's not exactly the way it is, but it's not something else. It's not a new message. It's the same message. So therefore, it's a b'chinas gilui elam. Come on, Perikit Ches, over there, we'll go into lengthy explanation, the way it explains over there, that really the Kav didn't go through the tzimtzum. There's a new Perek over there, which seemingly it's a stira to a whole regular way of thinking in Chassidus. Always in Chassidus we say there's tzimtzum b'derech siluk, and only then came about the Kav. And over there he says that the Kav, there was no tzimtzum b'derech siluk for the Kav. There's tzimtzum b'derech siluk for the Rablivu, but the Eira Gvul is Gilel. It existed lifnei tzimtzum, but it wasn't nikir, and lachar tzimtzum was nisgalet. Not that there was this havah, so to speak, a new way of approach, which in our terms would mean that the Rav, his reality, it's so true that he could explain it too. Like the Moshe Chassidus says, you could see the reality or you could explain it. Just like you say, a table. You see the table, and for us, someone start explaining what a table is, it's nonsense. What do you have to explain it? We know what it is. Someone that grew up wherever in the desert, he doesn't know, there's nothing growing, there's nothing there. So there you start explaining, there's a plate, there's a table, you start explaining what it is. So for him, his only approach to the table is the explanation of it. Or he'll explain once a blind person what colors is. So for him, his only attachment to the thing is the explanation. He'll say this color makes such an emotion, whatever the explanations will be. How he will relate it. But MS, all these explanations, when you see the color, you don't need the explanations. You know what it is. I'm not saying that there's nothing to speak about the color, but when you're living in the color, you don't need to explain how purple is, because purple makes this mood by a person. That's how you tell me what purple is. Fine, I don't need explanation. The Metzius HaDovar is Kale includes itself also the explanations, also how it relates to someone which, like I said, Kol HaSoge Berichuk Menatzim. Any understanding is not the way the thing is. We learn Achtzavayah. Is this the ultimate Achtzavayah? We'll understand it. Is this the way it is? Is the way we take it. But this way we take it, where does this come from? It comes from the emes. And the emes has a emes that it could explain itself on our levels, even on our levels. So it's not something new coming, not something new being created. And that emes kommt on umetum. So when you go back to Seichel HaRav, any way of explaining Achzavai was already included there. It's not something new that happened thanks to the Tzimtzum. It's not that Tzimtzum created this way. When we speak about Kelim, so that's something that happened, Me'at Tzimtzum is Hava Kelim. Because there was no air then it. Masha'inkin Kav is the air, the Pshitz, the Eitz of the Amitz of Alakus is being expressed in the Kav. So therefore, it's considered as a B'chinas Gilei HaHelem. The Eibush is hidden, Emes, is being revealed through Kav.